And thank you for watching on this Wednesday. We'll have another check on news, traffic, and weather in 25 minutes.
And remember, you can watch our news anytime, anywhere at WCBSTV.com. Thanks so much for watching. For Katie, John, Megan, Reggie, Jay, McGee, as well, the entire CBS 2 News team, I'm Maurice Dubois.
I'm Kate Sullivan. You have a great day. Early show straight ahead.
CBS 2 HD goes all digital on February 18, 2009. Viewers with antennas may lose their signal. For more information, call 888-DTV-2009 or go to WCBSTV.com/digital.
Starting today, we must pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and begin again the work of remaking America.
After partying the night away at 10 balls, President Obama begins his first full day in the Oval Office with a massive to-do list and missing 3 important cabinet secretaries.
And I am absolutely convinced that we've got better days ahead.
With the worst inaugural day on record, Wall Street gives the president a cold shoulder. But can the new administration help calm jittery investors? Salmonella scare. The outbreak worsens, killing 6 people, sickening nearly 500.
It shouldn't have happened. It just shouldn't have happened.
Why are new contaminated products added every day? We'll tell you what you need to know to keep your family safe. And First Lady Fashions. We'll talk to one of the designers who outfitted Michelle Obama on her big day, early this Wednesday morning, January 21st, 2009. Good morning. I'm Harry Smith, along with Maggie Rodriguez in Washington. Julie Chen is in Los Angeles. Good morning, Julie.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Quite a day yesterday and quite a night last night for the Obamas. And everyone is buzzing this morning about just how radiant Michelle Obama looked.
Michelle Obama spectacular in her white, one-shoulder asymmetrical, which is all the rage right now, gown. They had such a good time after what was such a long day. But just as expected, they did not disappoint. They partied into the night. We caught a glimpse of the limo, the presidential limo, in the driveway at the White House after 1 a.m. And already, Julie, we see lights on this morning, so they are no joke. Party all night and get right to work in the morning, it seems.
Or is the party still continuing and the lights have never gone off, right? I think
That's
yesterday,
another possibility.
Yeah, I think yesterday was a day, no matter who you supported in the election, it was hard not to, if not impossible, not to feel the excitement and the joy in our nation. Amazing.
There's no question. But as President Obama said at a ball last night, tonight we celebrate, but tomorrow we get to work. And today is day one. He called it that in his inaugural address. Day one of what he called a new era of responsibility for all Americans. And he will begin the day the same way he started yesterday's, with a prayer. Jeff Glor is at the National Cathedral to kick off our coverage. Good morning, Jeff.
Hey, Maggie, good morning to you. Yes, the new president will be at the National Prayer Service here at the National Cathedral this morning. This after, as you know, a pretty busy day yesterday. With the pomp of the ceremonies behind them, President and Mrs. Obama hit the parties, attending 10 official inaugural balls, including the neighborhood ball, where the first couple enjoyed their first dance. The evening of celebration followed a day full of history-making moments.
I, Barack Hussein Obama, do solemnly swear.
Including these words. When Barack Obama became the 44th President of the United States.
Congratulations, Mr. President. The time has come to reaffirm our enduring spirit, the God-given promise that all are equal, all are free, and all deserve a chance to pursue their full measure of happiness.
Enormous crowds began arriving on the National Mall before dawn. Even for a location accustomed to memorable moments, this was extraordinary. An estimated 2 million, the largest crowd Washington, D.C. has ever seen during one of the most difficult times the nation has ever seen.
Today, I say to you that the challenges we face are real. They are serious and they are many. But know this, America, they will be met. Starting today, we must pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and begin again the work of remaking America.
After signing his first document as president, Mr. Obama arrived for lunch at the Capitol, where there was a scare. Only moments after greeting the president, Massachusetts Senator Ted Kennedy, battling brain cancer, was rushed to the hospital following a series of seizures.
A part of me is with him, and I think that's true for all of us.
After lunch, the parade. Nearly 145 years after African Americans walked in Abraham Lincoln's parade, the nation's first black president walked in his own. And here at the cathedral this morning, the Reverend Sharon Watkins will become the first woman to deliver the sermon at the National Prayer Service. Harry, back to you.
Thanks so much, Jeff. For President Obama, today will be a long day at the office as he begins to set the agenda for his new administration. CBS News senior White House correspondent Bill Plant, just over our shoulder across the street, has more on that. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, Harry. Long day yesterday. And probably a short night because, by all indications, the Obamas are up. They, after all, have to get going, get the kids to school. And this is the new president's first day as commander-in-chief. And the Obama administration let it be known that they consider this day one of the new administration. Fears that the bank crisis isn't over drove the market down over 300 points on Inauguration Day. And one of the first items on Mr. Obama's agenda is a meeting with his economic council. One key member of the cabinet, Secretary of State designate Hillary Clinton, is likely to be confirmed today, but there will be tough questions for Timothy Geithner, the president's choice for Treasury Secretary. After Clinton is confirmed, look for the announcement of former Senator George Mitchell, who brokered the Northern Ireland Peace Accord, as special envoy to the Middle East. In the afternoon, President Obama meets with his national security staff and top Pentagon officials, a meeting in which they expect to learn how quickly the new commander-in-chief wants to pull troops out of Iraq and beef up U.S. forces in Afghanistan. Another preview of what's coming, Chief of Staff Rahm Emanuel has issued an order to all government agencies to stop implementing regulations until they can be reviewed. Those would be regulations issued by the outgoing Bush administration. And also late last night, the new administration issued an order to halt war crimes trials at Guantanamo pending further investigation. Harry?
All right, Bill Plant, thanks so much. We're joined by Dee Dee Myers, press secretary for President Clinton, and Andy Card, President George W. Bush's former chief of staff. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
I'm going to start with Andy because he was on the plane with President Bush, now former President Bush, on the way to Texas. Andy, tell me first, what was the mood like on the plane?
Believe it or not, the move was joy. There was celebration of Barack Obama's inauguration. There was celebration of the record of George Bush and what he accomplished. And there was really a tremendous joy. There was also some laughing moments where we watched videos of collection of experiences that the president had when he was in office and kind of the fun times and the serious issues that he had to address. So we had the full range of emotions, but I would say it was a joyful experience.
All right, Dee Dee, I wanted you to fast reverse, go to that moment. I spent a little time with you that weekend of the President Clinton's inauguration back in the day. What are those first hours like when you rush into the White House and say, we got to get to work here?
Right. Well, the first thing is most people have never spent a lot of time before they go for their first day at work. And so you got to find your office, figure out how to log onto your computer, figure out where the restroom is, all while you feel this kind of building sense of responsibility, like, oh my goodness, we are in charge now, and you really want to serve that new president as well as you can. You want to accept that responsibility and get going to work. And it's
Robert Gibbs went in there yesterday. Says, I don't even know what my email address is.
Right, and they were operating off temporary email addresses and trying to figure out how to get a hold of their colleagues and trying to figure out what do they do first. And then they'll come back. So then you leave and you go out and you sort of have one foot in the balls, but you have one foot back in the office as you're trying to be ready for the first day.
Right.
And they will come in this morning with a huge agenda.
Huge.
Yeah, the president's going to meet with his economic advisors. He's going to meet with the National Security Council as well as some of his commanders.
Chairman of the Joint Chiefs.
Correct, and some of the commanders out in the field in both Iraq and Afghanistan, so by teleconference. And yesterday, the markets dropped a historic amount for a president's first day. So the president wakes up this morning with the banking crisis, the economic crisis, 2 wars. It's time to get to work.
You might be almost old enough to remember the old Nat King Cole song, "The Party is Over," right? That really is part of the theme of today. Andy Card, I want to go back to yesterday. the new president's speech, as inspiring as it was, there were moments at which he was very tough on the now former Bush administration. Did the hair go up on your arms a couple of times? And do you feel like there was anything that President Bush should have taken umbrage to?
Well, first of all, we do celebrate Barack Obama's ascendancy to the presidency, and when he took the oath of office, we're all rallying behind him, and we want him to succeed. But I think some of the look back was a little unfair, but we're not going to look back. We're going to look forward, and President Bush even said that on the plane ride down. You know, we all want Barack Obama to succeed. There are challenges in America. We want the economy to come back. We want America to continue to be safe. Probably the greatest legacy of George Bush is that he kept America safe after the attacks of September 11th, and that's what we were celebrating. But we're not going to look back and whine about criticism. We're going to help the president do his job, and we'll hold him accountable for the actions that he takes, but we want him to succeed.
Right. Very quickly, then the sense of this staff, very disciplined campaign, very disciplined transition. Right. They really have to toe the line in these days ahead, because as you well remember, there was a sense of, what are those guys doing over there when you guys went into the White House? Right, and so you want to move forward with dispatch, you want to implement the president's agenda, but you don't want to make any mistakes early on that become the story, and that's it's a difficult line to walk. But certainly there is a lot of pent-up demand for a new direction, and so we'll start to see that new direction right away with the economy, things like an executive order to begin the closing of Guantanamo, to begin the drawdown of forces in Iraq and switch the focus to Afghanistan. So I think the president wants to continue that theme, move forward. What an amazing time. Dee Dee, thank you so much for being with us this morning. Do appreciate it. Andy Card in Texas, thanks for getting up early out there to be with us as well. Do appreciate it, sir.
Thank you, Harry. Good to be with you.
Be well. Russ Mitchell is at the news desk this morning, back in New York, by golly. Good morning, Russ.
Good morning, Harry. Good morning, everyone. President Obama's inauguration did not calm investors' fears about the economic crisis. CBS News correspondent Priya David has more now from the New York Stock Exchange. Priya, good morning.
Good morning to you. Investors who are hoping for a rally here on Wall Street may be disappointed by overnight news. Overseas, major markets in Asia tumbled after a big sell-off on Wall Street. Japan's Nikkei index dropped 2%. Hong Kong's Hang Seng index dropped almost 3%. This is after, as we mentioned, the worst sell-off in any inauguration day history. Yesterday, the blue chips tumbled 332 points. The Dow Jones, the Nasdaq fell 88 points. That's after news the banking crisis may be worse than initially thought. Also, for the first time, General Motors could lose its title as the world's top automaker. GM is likely to release its 2008 sales numbers this morning, and will likely be that Toyota will overtake GM in global sales. Russ, that's a look at the headlines from the Wall Street. Back to you in the studio.
Okay, Priya David at the New York Stock Exchange. Thank you. For the first time in nearly 3 weeks, Israeli troops are out of the Gaza Strip this morning. The withdrawal of troops began after Israel and Hamas declared separate ceasefires on Sunday. Today, residents in Gaza are inspecting the damage. About 1,300 Palestinians were killed. Divers will be on New York's Hudson River this morning trying to recover a missing engine from that jet that splash landed last week. Sonar was used to find what might be the plane's left engine. Investigators are trying to determine why the plane's engines failed after hitting a flock of birds. And charges are pending against a man who jumped out of a Delta Skyways plane as passengers were getting off. The man opened an emergency door and jumped out. He was described by police as having possible emotional or mental issues. He was not injured and was quickly taken into custody. It is now 7:13 on this Wednesday morning, and Dave Price is here, also in New York, with our first check of the weather. Hey, Dave.
What a day yesterday, huh?
Exciting.
Incredible. It was remarkable to be a witness of history like that and to see such joy in Washington. And it's nice to be home in front of the weather map that we know and love now. Let's take a look and see what's happening. As we look at Harry and Maggie this morning, you may notice one thing. Their face getting red, their jaws getting tight. It becomes harder and harder to speak. Why? Well, the wind chill makes it feel like 7 degrees this morning in Washington. Raw temperature at about 9. Look how far the cold air goes. South Florida in the 50s. Get some chicken soup, wear a sweater, go inside and play cards. It is not going to be great weather down there. And out where Julie is, we're talking about some rain rolling in. Showers all the way from San Diego up to San Francisco and beyond to southern Oregon. Starts tonight into tomorrow. Meanwhile, midsection of the country looks terrific. It's going to be colder in South Florida than it will in Denver today. That is odd. Relatively quiet around the rest of the country and some snow showers around the eastern Great Lakes. That's a quick look at the national maps. Here's an early look at what's going on in your area.
Good morning, everyone. Teens right now, but 20s later today. That's it. That's all we'll get. We'll top out at 26 today, 38 tomorrow, back to normal temperatures for this time of the year. Then we'll drop off again by the weekend, but not before topping out at 43 for your high on Friday. Friday will be a fantastic day with plenty of sunshine. But again, we drop off into the weekend, 31 on Saturday, 27 on Sunday.
Kid you not, Harry, Maggie, the way to do this? When you're off camera, keeps the lips loose.
Is that the way it's done?
That's the trick.
Oh, geez.
It's the coldest morning yet.
Yes, without question.
Without question.
Without question.
You know what? Maybe we can blame it on the cold. Maybe that's why Chief Justice Roberts goofed up while administering the oath of office to Barack Obama yesterday. Ahead this morning, we're going to look at the gaffe and how the president tried to help the Chief Justice. Also ahead, Americans expressed their emotions seeing the new president being sworn in. All over the country, they watched, they cried, and dancing the night away at the inaugural balls, 10 of them, the glittering first couple hits the dance floor. A recap here on The Early Show on CBS.